Welcome, everybody, back to another episode of the Riding Loafer podcast. Woo!
Yeah, right on, guys.
All right. We're doing it, man. I'm here with the guy from Dumb and Dumber, Fireball Bill. I'm just kidding.
I'm both.
Tassels. Your host, Chris Conrad, my good friend, Adam Burris, and Brian Cook right here, man. We're going to be talking about we're talking about trades, oil and gas, electrical, all kinds of cool stuff. And, yeah, I'm excited, right?
100%.
Welcome back, guys, to the Riding Loafer podcast. We're going to be talking about some Texas history. We're going to be talking about some trades and some just good old, and boots as well. We got some good stuff going on for this episode. Again, we got our buddies here from NextGen. We're going to be talking to Adam and Brian here about what their business is all about. But just in general, we're getting, my big passion is Texas history, right? Mm-hmm. So I can go on for hours about the evolution of how Texas became its own country and the great independent-minded people that came here to take this great place into where we are today, right? So, and just thinking back, as my family was a fifth-generation Texan, they came here raising cattle and breaking horses in Central Texas, and kind of taking that opportunity to the next thing, which became oil and gas, right? So my grandfather was born in Beaumont. Just during that oil boom at Spindletop. So my great-grandfather went there and did all that stuff and running mule trains all over Texas, building roads and this oil and gas. Just trying to find the right thing, having those skills to pass on to my father and then myself. I'm not sure if I got all those skills. But,
well, you're getting there. Yes.
I'm getting there.
Yeah.
You
learn every day.
I'm learning every day. Tell us about yourselves. I know that's kind of a coin line, but we've been friends for a long time. We've just met each other a few years ago, and it's been good. How did y'all start this thing? What's going on with y'all's business?
Well, back in 2019.
Yep.
He actually came to me with the idea, and we kind of were scratching our heads trying to figure out what to do, which direction to go. Started looking into it.
What was that drive to?
Preface the idea. Yeah. What idea were we talking about?
I can remember.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go. Yes.
So we both come from entrepreneur families.
Okay.
Same thing. My grandfather, my father, my uncle all had construction companies all over Texas. Adam came from a family of entrepreneurs as well. Mm-hmm. So we were stuck in our family shops when we were young, working as young kids, and not child labor. If all those. But
some of them did.
Yeah.
My kids are child labor. Sure.
So I had sold a business in 2018 that I started back when I was 24 years old. It was an offshore construction company. Mm-hmm. Was looking for something to do and how to give back to our community. And we saw everybody always kind of gripe. You hear all the time people gripe about the young youth today. They just don't know anything and they're just talking trash. I'm like, man, I'm tired of people talking about it. Let's do something about it.
Yeah.
So I called Adam. It's like, hey man, let's see how we can work with these kids and then help them find jobs in our industry, oil and gas and renewables, the renewable sectors, with all our buddies that we've been raised around, and let's just help. Let's help the kids of tomorrow.
Yep.
And how does that look like? What does that look like? So we started the business. Our business plan was going to go inside the schools and talk to the kids face to face, and then COVID hit. So we had a year to refine a mentor program, and how are we going to meet these kids and teach them about this when we can't even get in the schools? So we had a Cy-Fair High School opened up one of their campuses, and they let us come in and start talking to kids, and we scholarshiped a few kids out of that program to go to a trade school, and then we're going to help those kids go into the oil and gas industry once they finish their trade school here this December, actually.
Yeah, for sure. The trade school thing, I think, is just. I mean, growing up, we never heard about trade schools.
No.
I mean, we both went to Friendswood High School down there.
It was beat into our generation that if you didn't go to college, then
got to go to college.
Yeah, you got to go to college.
You won't amount to anything.
Right.
That's what I grew up.
A lot of the people that even I graduated with, they didn't make it through.
Right.
And you wind up starting over, mountain of debt, all that. Mm-hmm. So we take the opportunity to basically introduce to the kids, if college isn't for you, if school isn't your thing, then trade school is an option, and it's much shorter and you get to earn a good living to support yourself and your family much faster without the debt.
I don't know where it became like this college, you have to go to college, where that actually became the thing. I don't know if it was 60s or whatever. I don't know.
Why'd you look at me when you said the 60s?
He's a young man.
Cover history, sir.
Well, if you look at, I'm 43. So if you look at that,
Sorry.
No, you're not.
After the 2000s, the colleges really put a big marketing program together and started pushing it down. That those kids graduate in the 2000s.
Sure.
That you have to go to college.
Yeah.
And that was I mean, they have this massive marketing program. I mean, in Texas, how are you going to compete with UT and A&M and Texas Tech and those colleges' marketing programs? So, I mean, yeah, we're small, but we're covering some ground, and it's.
When I was a kid, my parents didn't go to college,
right.
but they had opportunities that were opened up for them because even though they didn't go to college, just because the requirements were just way different back then, technology was different.
Yeah. But
they foresaw the future, and they encouraged me to go to college. And then now it's just like a requirement. Everybody has to go to college no matter what. And so you try to go and look for a job, and they want a college degree.
Yeah.
But there's alternatives now, which we didn't know about back then.
I think it's a lot more prevalent in the rest of the world. If I go to, I've been working the majority of my career international. So the Europeans are pretty good at this. You know, trade schools, your electrician, your plumber, whatever, they're making good money. And then all these guys, I see them as contractors all over the world, killing it. And you know, everybody's, for us again, pushing this college thing. It frustrates me a bit. So I'm so glad. I'm just so pleased to see what you guys are doing with the youth of today.
Because not everyone's cut out to go to get a 4-year degree or go to college, but there's some brilliant minds out there.
Yeah.
And they're very talented people, but they're just not meant to go to that direction. But you're giving them an opportunity to do something different, which is
Think
incredible.
of the entrepreneurs that y'all have seen just come through this place and buy boots. I mean, some of the most wealthy guys I've run into in this stores all around Houston and our networking are all don't have college degrees or didn't even use their degree.
Right.
And that's
so I have an engineering degree from Texas A&M and a master's degree as well. But whatever.
Right?
But honestly, I've learned.
You know what they say? They say, whoop.
Yeah, that's why I didn't wear the Alabama shirt. You know,
I know.
Right.
too close to football season.
Yeah, exactly. Too close to football season for sure. Which was great, but I see it more as a weed out as opposed to actually learning anything. My master class is all about running a business, you know, building these facilities all over the world that I've been doing. That's where I learned the majority of what I'm doing. I wish I had more skills we did some welding, but it's just a class. It's not straight up, I need to get, you know, certified ASTM, blah, blah, blah,
right.
or whatever. So there's a huge, you know, loss, I think, of our
big
youth.
gap.
Big gap
There is.
of true, you know, technical skills out there. That's just my opinion. Just being out there, seeing it.
No, yeah, I mean, we're kind of in the same industry and we see it all the time. And then the individuals that did go out into the field and start working have done a lot better financially than a lot of the kids that get a degree and they go sit in an office, or, you know, they struggle through trying to, like we were just talking earlier, they don't follow their purpose. A lot of these guys and gals, you wake up every day and you do what you love. You might work in the field and sweat your tail off or working on the other side of the planet, but you love doing it, right? Yeah. And I mean, Adam's in the oil and gas industry. I'm still in that industry as well, and I love what we do, and I'm good at it. And the other people that we have on our board with us and our friends, like, they do what they love. And we don't all need degrees to do what we love. And it's agitating to see that the schools shove it down these kids' throats, and the parents do the same thing.
Yeah, of course they do. So what is it you guys do? What are you doing about it?
So what we're doing is we're going inside the high schools. We'll work with the counselors, the ag teachers, the welding teachers, and we'll go into the high school. We'll spend a whole day in the school, and we'll see like the whole junior and senior class. Our pitch at first was a whole lot different than our pitch became. Exactly. At first was very structured and was like, this is what the oil and gas industry looks like. This is what jobs look like. And we started seeing it was so far above their head, and they just had no.
You would lose them. They would glaze over, and you would lose them.
And you see the phone come up.
Oh yeah,
it was the worst. And we started talking to our clients too out there, which is our sponsors, which is some of the big oil and gas companies around Houston, and the crazy interviews they see. They're talking about doing interviews with guys that are still laying in bed with no shirt on and their phones laying up.
There's some serious missing social skills in that.
The social skills
really.
These people is insane.
Yeah,
and it's
really.
showing up to interviews.
This is real life.
This is real life.
That's insane. It's not a parody.
Showing up to interviews in their pajama pants and slide shoes, and it's a guy was. We had a customer telling us he was doing a safety interview with a guy talking about how safety is driving down on video, driving on the highway with no seatbelts on. That's the crap they see. So we've had to tailor our speeches with these kids and our face to face with these kids more of this is what the real world is going to look like when you walk out of here, and here's the opportunities if you do go in the oil and gas and renewable energy. And if you want to go to college and be an engineer or be an accountant, please reach out to us and we can go introduce you to some of the engineering firms we're friends with, or accounting firms or law firms. We just want to help these kids find their purpose. I mean, our main business is helping them get into the trades industry.
Amazing.
And it's not just plumbers and electricians. It's HR, it's logistics, it's your project controls.
Are you like mentoring these kids? Is that part of the thing?
The mentor program has completely changed too.
So you're doing everything, kind of brokering the deal between getting these kids to explain
Preparing them.
Yeah, prepare them that here's an opportunity to be an electrician. You can make $80,000 a year and blah blah blah, and then having a mentor to explain that whole process. Because I can imagine they've grown up on YouTube or something like that. They don't really understand how the real world works. I've seen my kids, right? And I brought them in here. Of course, I'm trying to show them a different way, but I think there's a whole generation that's just completely lost about how the real world actually works.
Well, I firsthand experience, and I won't say who or what, but these kids are wanting, they're looking for, they're unemployed, but they're looking for a job. So you've been unemployed for a year. What are you waiting for? Well, I'm waiting for management. What's your history? What's your background? None, zero. They just got out of high school.
Yeah.
But trying to explain that to them, they don't understand. So they're going off of what they're learning from social media, from whatever is out there. But you guys are doing an invaluable service. It's incredible what you guys are doing.
And the time.
Yeah.
So the mentor program, it's kind of funny. So we had this mentor idea middle of the year, and it's just like, man, we got to do a better job of helping these kids. Like, so what happens when we do help them get jobs with these oil and gas companies, and they're making $80,000 or $90,000 a year, and they're going to piss it all away on a jacked up truck and stupid rims and try to keep up with us on buying boots, which is I'm pushing it. So it's
we all have addictions.
Are you talking about me?
We're very comfortable.
So that's so we were sitting like, hey, we're going to help you with
this man a drink, please.
Hey, why don't we help you give y'all a book on financial responsibility and time management? They're not going to read books.
That's right.
No.
They're not. It's so what we're seeing is we have two kids that we just helped get jobs offshore on a drilling rig. One kid's working in Spain, which is awesome. The other kid's in the Gulf of Mexico. They're offshore right now. We went to the interview with them. We waited outside for them to finish the interview because we knew they were going to get hired. And we were out there to congratulate them when they walk out. We go when they went and picked up all their coveralls and their hard hat and all their gear. We were there with them. It's almost like we were parenting these kids.
We're a second set of parents.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Hey, and then we're taking them when they went to go work for a drilling contractor.
That makes all the difference.
Dude, I called the rig manager. We got our buddies together. It's like, hey, let's all go to lunch. Hey guys, what did y'all learn when y'all were on the rigs to tell these kids right here? And like they're like, hey man, you need to get stuff for your feet because you're gonna get jungle rot out there. So like this, the little stuff we forget about because Adam is a boss and he breathes that thin air in that high rise.
I do. So thin up there, I get lightheaded.
But just the little stuff we forget about working in the heat and things like that. At least teaching these kids that are starting out.
Yeah.
And then,
so how's it evolved? I mean, you've been talking about this kind of evolution of how you pitch things and this mentoring and stuff. Was it more kind of hardcore? This is what you should do, or is it? It sounds more like it's a coaching thing.
Yeah.
It's
a lot of holding
coaching.
hands.
Yes.
Yeah,
it's more of a coaching. It's just talking to them about life skills. If you go out on your own and it's if you make $100, save this much. Put this much for taxes.
Oh, look at Chicken Mike in here.
Look at
that.
That's
Garden
a great
hen,
guy.
garden hen. Google. Sorry.
You're a little light on the pour, though.
But no, I mean it's if you make so much, save so much for taxes, save so much for this, live off of this, things that weren't really pushed when we were in high school.
Yeah. Well, I was a PAL, so I was a peer assistant leadership, so I was helping people out.
I miss that.
Well, one of the kids we just got on, he was talking about buying a new truck, and I was like, absolutely not. When you go to buy a new truck, I'll go with you. The guy that runs a couple dealerships around here, we'll go with you. Just
so cool.
dear Lord, just don't be an idiot. Like we just got to help them to get to 30.
Just one by one.
You sound like my wife. Dear Lord, don't be an idiot.
That sounds like my last few wives.
Peace.
But man, we're just trying to help them get through and help them find their purpose. And where it has evolved is, when you build a business plan. Like I've built businesses since I was young. We've seen it, right?
Yeah.
But what you build on paper as a company, and then what actually happens, totally different scenario, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
It's when life
Work
hits you
through every aspect of it. Yeah.
When life hits you in the face, how are you gonna pivot?
Yeah.
So the COVID thing made us pivot. When we started getting into the schools and we saw these kids just aren't listening to us, we had to pivot. So it's almost like more motivational, and then just helping them. How do you find your purpose? How do you put a 1-year goal together? How do you put a 5-year goal together? And that's a big one, because we had one kid, remember, up on the north side, he had 5 women in the house.
Oh, yes.
And he was the only boy. This kid had a set of nuts on him, man. And he was, you could tell.
It was brave.
What's his name?
I don't remember, but what I thought was funny was, like, he was the kid that we would probably pick on when we were in school. And, like, all the jocks are sitting up here not asking questions. And this kid's like, I live in a house with my aunt, my mom, and my 3 sisters. Wow. I'm going to graduate in 6 weeks, and I have no clue what I'm going to do in life.
100%.
And I was like, man, like, dude, you have a heart. Like,
how did you get in contact with this guy? I mean, is he applying on your site, or
this particular one?
We were in the classroom.
We were at Tomball.
Yeah,
we were at Tomball, and
there's 70 kids in the gym with us.
They asked us to speak with them. Not so much, we brought up NextGen, of course, but they asked us to speak to the entire senior class about career day. So they were just filing them in, during their English period. They were filing in all the kids, all the English classes at one time, all day. So we saw all the graduating seniors
and juniors of
Tomball, and he was one of the kids that walked through the door.
It's cool to see stuff like that. I mean, you do get the dumb questions on, like, if you're working on a drilling rig, how many dolphins and whales did y'all kill? And it's
of course, you're going to get that.
I think in general, I think the oil and gas industry has a bad name. I travel around the world. They're like, there's a lot of negativity around that. Mm-hmm. I mean, but it's the energy. You have to power the world, right? And there's a lot of technology, a lot of things. There's a lot of ways to make it cleaner, right? And that's the way we're going, carbon capture. And as you kind of brought up the renewable energy aspect that you guys are working on as well. But you still need energy to power this world. I need this air conditioner right now because it's 100-something degrees outside, right? You need all those trades that go into actually bringing it to us inside of this
and executing
public boot shop.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about how you make this happen. So we've partnered with you guys on several events, and we have one coming up tomorrow, I believe.
Yes.
So let's talk about that.
Okay. So tomorrow we do a handful of events a year. That's how we raise money up to date. Okay. We have a massive event in May with y'all. I appreciate y'all being a part of that.
Yep.
There's probably we started that event 15 years ago. I maxed out my credit card to be able to throw that event, and it was like 18 grand.
We've both done that.
Yeah, we were broke as a joke, and now it's $150,000 event. Right. We had about 1,100 people this year show up, and we raise a lot of money at that event. Yeah. So that's a great event. The event tomorrow is a sporting clays tournament at a buddy of ours, Lawrence Berry's range. It's his private range. It's shaped like a clock, so you don't have to go very far.
Oh wow!
So
that's cool.
There's a giant man cave, and then just the shooting ranges all the way around it. It's really awesome, and I appreciate it.
Sporting clays is what we're doing.
Sporting clays, yes.
Sporting clays, yes.
Yeah. So it's going around, and you're trying to get companies to kind of contribute, so you can actually continue your business to spread the gospel.
So we do events over at the Armadillo Palace.
Yes.
So what is that?
Armadillo Palace is
it's
the Guns and Oil event. We've had to change the name from Guns and Oil because the schools really don't like us to use any guns out there.
It kind of dampers things.
Somebody left the logo, that Guns and Oil logo, on a PDF, and we sent it to the school one day, and they
Why are you looking
lost
at
their
him?
mind.
He's looking at Chris.
Yeah, so we've definitely had to change the Guns and Oil logo and names.
That's sad.
That was a cool logo. We had the Derek with the 6 shooters.
Very cool.
Awesome.
That was awesome. So we've had to change that. Just
But just because
PC.
society, don't go. Keep moving.
Yeah.
Keep
I
moving
can talk
forward.
about that,
Yeah,
but I
I know.
won't.
It's frustrating, but just get
damn
get those people out. And
It's so that event is in May. I think it's May 8th next year.
Yeah.
It's during OTC week, the Oilfield Technology Conference week. We've had it that Wednesday of every week at Armadillo Palace. We have the Armadillo races. We usually have a Texas country band show up.
Yep.
It's invite only.
We were there. We've been there 3 times. And you got the donkeys, the mules,
Oh, yeah.
with the packs
Yep.
and tequila and the cigars,
Yep.
and pretty women.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's next for you guys? What are you guys kind of trying to get? Is just you just trying to get momentum, or are you trying to do something? Do you see a bigger vision of what you're trying to go? Because I saw on your website, it's not just Texas. You've got about 5 other states,
yeah.
right?
So
At
we're-
the end of the day, so what can we do as a whole to
Yeah.
help you guys,
These guys.
do better? Yes.
And find them, by the way, in the
Yes.
notes below.
Yes.
Yeah. So where we need help is the people, the individuals that have the contacts into the high schools, so we can reach out to the principals, the ag teachers, the teachers in the schools, so we can get into the schools and go see these students.
Okay.
Would be one. Businesses that want to be a part of this and help fund when we do fundraisers. Probably fourth quarter this year, we'll start doing annual funding. So we have a few businesses that want to do annual funding with us and help sponsor the events. So that's helpful. Mentors that want to help, and then people that are in other states, like Louisiana, is our next big
That's a big one, yeah.
area that we're
Offshore,
supposed to
all
push,
that.
right? So there's some of the operators want us to push that Highway 90 corridor,
Yep.
and also Orange, Texas. Orange, Texas is going to be a big one. Actually, the company Chevron wants us to push in that region. They're building a new facility over there. So with say like Chevron's going to build a new facility in Orange, they want us to go reach out to the high schools and start pushing
Michael
that
Berry.
brand.
Yeah.
Yeah, push that brand and then pull it into the trade schools and then bring the kids out of the trade schools and to go work there. So
Well,
Just-
we'll do our part in trying to do that, and we want you guys to do the same thing.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Find the link below for
Yes,
sure.
please.
So at the end of
This
the
is a
hour-
big deal.
It's cool, man. This is the coolest thing. I mean, I feel like it's just awesome. I mean, it's like
It is.
I feel like a schmo or something like that for not doing and put myself out there as much as you guys have. I mean, you guys are. It's not easy
No.
for sure to go out there and go to these schools, talk to those kids
Yeah.
that have no social skills, and pushing this. And
Well, and what
and
we do
taking
is
care
a labor of passion and love
Yeah.
here in the boot shop, and I
Okay.
see you guys do the same thing.
Yeah.
And this is like a second career for you guys. You already have something else going on, and you do this on
Yeah.
the side.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I mean, it's time and energy and funds and everything else. This is incredible.
Yeah.
We always talk about boots, right? We're in a boot shop, so
Boot of the week.
We do our boot of the week. What's y'all's favorite hides? I know you got some ringtail lizard. I know you got some Komodo dragons.
Which is pretty cool. Both of
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing.
What's next? I mean, what is a hide that you guys think would be super cool for the next boot? Not that
I think you have more boots than I do.
You're both thinking about
maybe
it.
not. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe
Yeah.
not. No, I like the purple and the black gator.
gators, are two tones.
pretty nice.
Those are cool.
I can't imagine why.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think I want to do a
Blue back gator.
like a hornback, but I want a alligator that's been like hit by a boat or something with a big old gash.
You
in
like
it.
the story
Right.
behind it. We
I
talked
wanna-
about that earlier.
Yeah.
It needs a story.
Yeah. So y'all just finished a pair of bellies for me, which look
Yes.
phenomenal. But the next ones, I want a gnarly pair of alligators. It just looks like just like an old
down.
withered.
When I was talking to him the other day, he kept saying gnarly. I want something gnarly. So
Yeah.
we got to come up with that.
Like
Yeah.
go beat
Yep.
something with an oar or something and take it out.
Like an old whore alligator. Well, that old,
Yeah. Just sitting out there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Ate a few people.
Something that's
and
been
Yeah.
Yeah, he said that.
something that's been
She's had a lot of babies.
tore up, with scars and all that.
All right, let's look at this boot.
Well, this
is
boot's
actually
cool.
pretty
So this is
amazing.
one of the coolest boots we've ever done, right? So this is
This is my favorite.
so
so
Texas
far.
A&M. We talked about Texas A&M. Maybe I came across. I said Texas A&M didn't do a lot for me.
Right.
It's not so much that Texas A&M education wasn't that great. It was phenomenal, but it was more about the camaraderie, all those great things, the people I met, and how I could get through the thing. Anyway, so that was my sidebar about Texas A&M. But these are great Texas A&M boots. This is buck stitch around the top here, which takes a lot of time to actually go and braid. Then we got we got hippo, elephant, and we got Cape Buffalo, all stitched together in patchwork pattern.
Which is
So
amazing. So this
crazy.
just in this form as it is now, this was 45 hours worth of work
Just-
to do this
just
right here.
straight up stitching.
45 hours. Man,
and it's got to be consistent. It's got to look right as you put the two different hides together. They
Three.
got, the 3 different
Yeah,
hides together.
yeah.
The 2 different
panels and everything. Yes.
the 2 different
Sorry,
boots together.
not
They got-
contradiction. Sorry, I would never do that.
No, they got to match. So, anyways, we kind of like to show off our boots at the end of the episode. So, how can we find you guys? What's
Yep.
the best way
if someone
to?
wants to help you guys and donate,
contact us through our website. nextgentrades.org.
Okay.
Okay.
Find us on LinkedIn, Brian Cook, Adam Burris.
Yeah.
I
Talk
mean,
to your-
we're all over social media.
Yeah.
Right on.
Reach out to you guys. I
Okay.
mean, if you look up Brian Cook on LinkedIn, we're all over it.
You contact us, we'll be able to put you connected with them
Yep.
easily.
Talk to
Yep.
schools. Let's get these kids educated, not just through the universities, which is good or nothing. But there's a sweet spot that we need to really educate our youth.
So what
Next.
is it? It's like half the time, or as far as a formal education, 4-year degree. So what's the math on that?
Well, it depends on what certification, what degree they want to get.
Yeah, but an average,
mean,
it's like
You get a 6
half-
month and a
half the
2-year.
time.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
got
so
6
you go
months.
6 months. Some of the offshore guys just want to
Okay.
see a 6 month. They want to see somebody dedicated when they get out of school that's
Okay.
going to show up, right?
Okay.
So it could be a welding class, electrician class,
Sure.
hydraulics course, something like that. And then
It's
you give a
nothing.
2-year course where they're getting high pressure test or high pressure piping, welding certifications, specialty steel. There's U of H. HCC has some logistics programs and some purchasing programs that are 1-year programs.
Gotcha.
So yeah,
They can be up and running within half the time.
I mean,
And
come on,
it- and
it
a
doesn't take
fourth-
very long to get
Correct.
those skills and do it. As you said, it's not just a trade. You can do HR or other things
Yeah.
associated with that trade as well.
the bigger businesses are not asking. They're not all asking for degrees anymore. We're starting to see that.
Absolutely.
And then our mentor programs, even if these students want to go into college, right? I went to A&M down at Kingsville, and I appreciate what I did down there. But I went to the construction world. I worked 6 months as an engineer, and I was a football player. So you eat 9 times a day. So everybody in the cubicles around me definitely didn't like me. And my boss was like, man, go back to the rig 6 months after having that job. So
Yeah.
it just wasn't for me.
Well, thank you guys. Thank you,
Thanks for
Brian,
having us.
Adam. It's been
Absolutely.
great.
And thank you for what you do.
Yeah, it's
incredible.
huge. It's
Thanks for
really
what y'all do.
important.
Yeah.
Check these guys out. Find the links down below.
Huge.
Love you guys. We got some great stuff coming up after this. Subscribe to our deal. See y'all later on.
Talk to you soon.
Adios.
Bye.